good evening, everyone. This is Jewelry Jelly and Isabel. We are here tonight. It is Monday. I hope you all had a great beginning of your week. And as you can see here, I've got Isabel in a brand new fashion. Well, it's a fashion that she's been in, but she's got a brand new wig. I'm gonna bring her a little bit closer. So this wig that she's wearing is a synthetic mohair wig rather than a synthetic human hair wigs like I normally have my dolls in, and it's a little emo. I mean, a wig suits a doll's personality, and I think this makes her look very emo and very distinguished as well. And if you can look here, I've got a new necklace for her. I went to a doll show on Sunday, and there were a few vendors there that sold various doll fashions and parts and such, and I bought Isabel the wig. I bought her a new necklace, which is a little golden kitty, and I got her a new pair of shoes, which unfortunately do not fit her. The shoes are a little bit too big. I think they were made more for the Super Dolphy boys. Alright, we got a resubscription. Thank you very much, MJD, for 4 months subscribed, and I am very happy. Thank you very much. Alright, so let's get this party started. We are going to pick up where we left off with all of our friends going to Hamza's tournament and running into a couple of unsavory characters there. Alright, let's get things started. Letting it load up. By the way, not only did I buy some doll stuff this weekend, I actually bought a doll. I got a boxed set, which included a Jenny doll, along with 3 outfits. 4 if you count the one that she was dressed in. Okay, so, right now, here we are. And we are with Jinx, Rhapsody, Hamza, and Grace. And Bunny is here too, surprisingly. Why is Bunny here? So anyway, we're gonna go from left to right, 1, 2, 3, 4, and roll the dice to see who we get to talk to first. Alright, so we rolled a 1. So we talk with Jinx. I find Jinx leaning awkwardly against a fine specimen from the endless sea of wooden crates. It doesn't look comfortable, and neither does she. I could maybe understand if she was part of some conversation circle, chatting away with the other gamers here, but nope, just by her lonesome. Knowing her, she's got no problems being by her lonesome. Normally, I wouldn't interrupt, but that look of discomfort just isn't sitting right with me. Hey, yeah? Yeah. Help you with something, Socks? Oh great, I'm making things awkward again. Okay. Alright, so we rolled a 1, so we're gonna go for option 1. Can I get you anything? Maybe I can find a chair or ask for one. How are your legs holding up? I know it's a dark, mitten, twisty maze of boxes, but surely there's a chair somewhere in this mess. Just say the word and I'll track down some seating for you. And if I can't find some, I'm sure our glorious host Hamza will provide. Appreciated, but I've already looked. There's jack all I can sit on. Some chairs, yeah, but they're incompatible. She pauses, leaning heavily against the crate, her knee braces creaking a bit as she does so. So she reaches down to tighten the loose strap. Gotta be such and such a height, such and such a curvature. Armrests too, ideally, keeps my wrists from getting sore. But all I'm finding here are those crappy little folding chairs you usually find in the hands of professional wrestlers with head-shaped dents in them. Afraid I'm on my feet for the duration. Be sore as hell, but that's how it's going to be. How about I run back to your place and, I don't know, grab a chair? It's just a 20-minute subway ride.
Bad idea.
And risk you losing your spot in the FOD2 tournament? Nah. You've got business here on behalf of Future Forward. Before I go any further, introduce you to Jenny. So here is Jenny, and she is dressed as a flight attendant. So Jenny is a Japanese fashion doll that is produced by Takara Tomy nowadays. And she is a 17-year-old girl from Los Angeles. And she has a lot of different careers and stuff in mind. The thing is with Jenny is that she is actually a rebranding of Barbie. Back in the 80s, in the late 70s, early 80s, Takara had the rights to produce Barbie dolls in Japan, but what they did was that they redesigned her face to make her a little bit more anime-ish. And they also redesigned her body a little bit too, to make her a little bit more realistically proportioned. When Takara lost the IP rights to produce their own Barbie dolls, they decided that they were going to rebrand what they had. So Barbie became Jenny, and Ken became Jeff, and she got a whole new backstory as well. Unfortunately, Jenny doesn't seem to hold a candle to her older sister, so to speak. The queen, or I should say princess, of Japanese fashion dolls in Japan is Lika-chan. And she is based to be on an elementary school student, and she's had all sorts of different careers and jobs over the years, and all sorts of cute clothing. So yeah, that was what I got this weekend, and I have 3 other outfits in addition to the flight attendant uniform. I have a waitress, I have a nurse, and I have a bride. The whole set is... how should I describe it? It's like all the dream feminine careers. It's kind of sad, but hey, it's a toy, and they're cute. Well, how about you head back then? You're not in the tournament, you're just here to hang out with friends.
Not sure about that.
Not sure. Feels like I'm not being a good teammate if I bail just because of my knees. Should stay and cheer you on. I'm here to support everyone. We're being serious about this Pro Tour thing, and I want to be serious too. Despite being the team anchor. As in, heavy object weighing everyone down, not as in, reliable last man in tug of war, to be specific. Come on, you know nobody sees you that way. Yeah, I know. Just hard not to feel that way some days. She shakes it off to focus on something else. Something a bit less dreary. There are solutions, of course. Was thinking of getting one of those wearable chairs. Wearable what now? Chairs. Did I stutter? They're these metal struts that you wear on a harness around your waist. Pop them, lean back, you're sitting. Done. Problem is, you look weird using one. That's on top of everybody going, wearable chair, that's stupid, why would anyone want that? Normally, don't give a flying what anyone thinks of my disability or how I support it. Do what needs doing and done with it. And half the time you see one of those weird infomercial items, it was actually made for the disabled. Too niche of an audience to market to alone. But, don't know. Wearable chair legs are a bit over the top even for me. Get funny looks from my leg braces already, why add more hardware? Already get little kids pointing and going, Mommy, look, it's a robot! And yeah, not into that. Don't blame kids. Kids typically don't know any better, but parents who don't teach them about disability, that's not my problem, it's theirs, but still, it sucks. So, I don't bother with a wearable chair, or lugging around a chair everywhere I go. Just improvise. Simpler. Less weird, less demanding on everyone. Okay, so we have 1 and 2 is going to be option 1, 3 and 4 is going to be option 2, and 5 and 6 is going to be option 3. We rolled a 5. How about a cane with a folding seat? It's discreet enough. Okay, so you need a seating option that's unintrusive, highly portable, and very effective. Don't they sell canes with built-in fold-out seats, like at medical supply stores or something? Not sure. Those always seemed a bit tricky to balance on, but might be worth reconsidering, especially if we're going to be going to more events like this one. Want to support everyone and can't do that without some self-support, right? Right. Honestly, my current cane's too damn fancy. I mean, look at this thing, but family gift. Don't want to be ungrateful. So yeah, get a look at her cane. It looks like a talon. It looks pretty cool though. Maybe swapping to a fold-out chair cane would be the polite excuse I need. It's worth thinking about, at least. Jinx stretches out, clearly aching more and more with each passing moment. You sure it's not letting the team down if I bail? Not in the slightest. Do what's best for you. I can still kick all the butts even with you cheering me on from home. Okay. Thinking I should take you up on that suggestion. Don't think I planned this evening out well. Should have solved the seating situation before hopping a subway to parts unknown. Oh, and let Grace know I headed home, okay? But that she should stick around if she wants to stick around. Sure thing. She offers me a firm nod of appreciation, then slowly makes her way to the open front doors of the warehouse. Attention! Socks and Zapper to the tournament area for your next challenge. This is it, our first round. Fortunately, the matchup is pretty pathetic. A couple local casuals who got in by being friends with Hamza. We trounced them easily. Thankfully, unlike L7, it's all handshakes and smiles after. They were here just for the fun of it, and win or lose, got what they wanted. Even if I'm glad I won instead of losing. Anyway, time for a break before the next round. Where to next? I'm gonna be right back, folks. Sorry about that. I don't know if you could hear that, but we were trying to get my cat, Octavia, to come in and say hi to everybody. And unfortunately, that did not happen. And I just realized I think I had my microphone off this entire time. Alright, so we've got 3 choices. And going from left to right, we have 1 and 2 for your rival, 3 and 4 for Rhapsody and Hamza, and 5 and 6 for Grace. So we rolled a 1. So let's talk to Bunny. I could have sworn I saw Bunny's face in the crowd over where the side tournaments are. I should investigate this. For science. Also, rude they didn't even tell me that they are here. I thought we were friends. I swim awkwardly through the waves of people to the side tournaments. There are all kinds of different setups, from the warehouse's stock arcade cabinets to old CRT TVs with consoles. I eventually find Bunny participating in a Power Stone tournament, and they're currently in the hot seat. I'm not going to lose to you. That's what you said last time, too. Bunny's smirk widens as they flick their wrist and input a combo that utterly destroys their opponent. Listen, maybe if you train harder, you'll best me next time. But I highly doubt it. The defeated actually doesn't look too upset that they were completely decimated. Instead, they're laughing and smiling like they just won their lottery. Bunny extends a hand for a handshake and then sweeps them into a giant hug. I can't say I'd be content with a loss like that, although I certainly wouldn't mind being swept up in Bunny's arms like that. We have a quick exchange of words before more people joyously surround Bunny. Now the whole lot of Power Stone players are actively ignoring their buttons and screens and entirely focused on Bunny. Pleasantries and high fives all around. I know they're pretty popular within the FOD community, but outside of it, I had no idea. Eventually, Bunny's attention withdrew from the group, spotting me watching them from afar. They waved to me, excused themselves, and approached. What are you doing here, Socks? Alright, looks like we rolled a 4. We got invited to the FOD2 tournament. It's in between matches right now, so I'm just wondering, seeing what else is going on. Maybe learn something about the scene since it is my first arcade tournament. Knowing the scene is important for sure. You should totally spend some time learning as much as you can. And then it hits me, it's just Bunny. I don't see any of their teammates skulking around mocking people and ruining things like they did not so long ago at Good Clean Fun. Interesting that the best team in the league isn't here right now. Did you not get the invitation? Nah, P2W didn't. Coach said we shouldn't focus on such small-time tournaments and to set our sights higher. And yet you're here and not with your team? I'm not married to them, Socks. I do get free time, you know. And where I go and what I do in my free time is my business, not theirs. Fair enough. Seeing as how it's a bit of a touchy subject for them, I moved to something else. So, Power Stone. Bunny cocks an eyebrow suspiciously. You seem good at it. Are you challenging me to a money match? Is that what you're trying to ask? I accept. Bunny pulls out a $100 bill from their pocket and raises it above their head. Let's go, you and me, in front of everyone. I'm not challenging you for money, Bunny. I haven't even played this game. Why would I put down $100 when I know I'm going to lose? Obviously, it's for the thrill, Socks. The excitement to get to play alongside me. They smile wickedly at me, taunting me and enthralling me at the same time. That smile. It makes me melt, having all of Bunny's attention on me. I can feel my extremities heat and I pray I'm keeping it cool on the outside. The enjoyment of having me dominate you. My face instantly flushes and in seeing my reaction, Bunny merrily laughs in response. Fine, it seems like we'll have to save the money match for another day. Bunny takes the $100 bill and places it back in their pocket. I've avoided a humiliating loss from my rival this time around, but that still doesn't stop my curiosity about this whole ordeal. How long have you been playing? Do you know all these people? What exactly is a Stone of Power and how do I wield it? Slow down there, Inquisitor. I can't keep up with all those questions. Where to even begin? Bunny takes a moment's pause, reflecting in their memories. I've been playing it since I was a kid. It was my first competitive arcade game. It's what brought me here to the world of arcades. I feel a little sheepish, being an adult and never having seriously gone into an arcade until Good Clean Fun. I would spend the entirety of my allowance at arcades. I even stole money from the swear jar so I could play longer. I started out by playing my favorite characters, trying to learn their moves, and eventually I beat the game. But that first victory wasn't enough. Bunny holds their forehead in their hand. No, I craved more. Even as a kid I knew. From that moment, this was my new life. This was the life I chose. I know that Bunny can be a bit sassy and playful with me, but I've never seen them talk like this. I let them continue uninterrupted. I left a life where no one cared about me. The arcade gave me a renewed reason to live. Bunny pauses abruptly as a wave of nervousness crosses their brow, realizing they might have overshared with me. Not a second more passes before they're back to their normal, lighthearted demeanor. They swing their arm out, gesturing towards the people behind them. This is my family. I've grown up around these people. I've made friends here, friends who will last with me a lifetime. These bonds are thicker than blood. It's been the one community I come back to time and time again. They've always welcomed me. That's why I'm here. So, now you know my business, Socks. Please, what I've told you. And as I'm about to respond, "Hey, Bunny, we're up!" Another one of Bunny's friends show up. If you spend half as much time practicing as you do flirting with cuties like them, you'd actually have a chance against me. Bunny shoots me a pleading look before turning away from me. A smile replaces the mournful face as they begin chatting with their friend. I'm surprised that Bunny opened up to me like that. I certainly wasn't expecting that. Okay, 1 and 2 is option 2, 3 and 4 is option 1 and 2 is option 1, 3 and 4 is option 2, and 5 and 6 is option 3, and we're glad that Bunny shared. I'm happy that Bunny feels comfortable enough to talk about these things. It reminds me that even though we're rivals, we're first and foremost friends. I hope that they continue to trust me and know that I'll keep this information to myself. A very loud cheer from the Power Stone cabinet interrupts my thoughts, and I'm reminded that I should be getting back to my own tournament. I glance back once, watching my rival cheering happily amongst their family, and then I leave. Attention! Socks and Zapper to the tournament area for your next challenge. Round 2 is a bit harder, an up-and-coming esports team just like us, but it's still a solid victory thanks to Zapper's skill. The opposing team was visibly disappointed to lose, and I can sympathize with that. No one likes losing. Break time before round 3. Who to visit next? Alright. 1, 2, 3 is going to be Hamza and Rhapsody. 4, 5, 6 is going to be Grace. And I rolled a 4, so I'm going to go talk to Grace. Kind of need to anyway. Steel Snail 3. It's tricky to track down Grace amidst all the gathered gamers. Mazes of wooden crates and arcade cabinets block every possible line of sight I could have used. Can everyone hear me? Let's see. Where would she be in this mess? Maybe I could deduce and work backward from that conclusion. Are there any arcade role-playing games? Is that a thing? There's just so much I don't know about arcade culture. But if I'm looking for the arcade equivalent of a slower-paced, logic-driven experience, maybe a puzzle game? And the beeps and boops of sliding blocks draw me to a relatively uncrowded in the corner of the warehouse, where Grace is happily tapping a joystick, smiling away. Ah, here you are.
Hello.
Oh, Socks. Hi, check it out. They've actually got Tetris the Grandmaster 4. And it's even got the thankfully uncopyrightable Russian folk music the series is known for.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing? Yes. Ah, right, you're still a newbie. Well, and this is a particularly deep bit of nerdy lore. TGM4 never made it past prototype stage. They lost the license to the original game. I'm amazed there's a prototype in this place. Although, I wouldn't be surprised to find, like, the Ark of the Covenant or Polybius, or some other legendary lost item in this place. It's kinda creepy, isn't it? Oh dear, she just mentioned the P word. Pretty sure the only real danger here is a crate falling on your head. I've been trying not to actually look up to avoid thinking about that. Back to talking about game lore. The rights to Tetris are kind of, well, complicated. Like, seriously, wildly, confusingly, Cold War drenched in complication. But I've always loved the Grandmaster series. They're the most intensely difficult arcade puzzlers ever made, in my opinion. Alright, we rolled 5, so option 3. I love this. The 4th Tetris game, surely they're running out of things to tris by now. What's next? Hat-tris? There was a Hat-tris game. It wasn't very good. Interesting. Are you in a puzzler side tournament? Are we taking home a Tetris game tonight too? From the way she's easily flicking blocks back and forth faster than the eye can see, all while holding up a conversation, no doubt she'd crush it in a tournament. Oh heck no, that's not my style. I just like to play games, you know? But you play FOD2. That's competitive. I play FOD2 with friends. I don't honestly care about my opponents. I just like playing with friends. So, how's the tournament going so far? Are you and Zapper kicking all the butts? Pretty good so far. We're still in the running.
That's wonderful.
Hey, that's great. Who knows? Maybe you'll actually make it to finals. Not sure I dig how astonished she sounds at her current level of success. Hey, Jinx wanted me to tell you that she's heading home. Oh geez. I guess it was just too much on her knees. I told her she shouldn't feel obligated to come. It's always tricky going into a totally unknown situation for her. Maybe I'll send her a text later, try to cheer her up. If I can find a really, really good picture of a cat, that usually works. Lost momentarily in thought, Grace slips up for exactly 23 milliseconds and the game is suddenly over.
Aww.
Aw, poop. Oh, wow, that went from good to bad in the blink of an eye. How the heck can you play so fast? I mean, I'm speedy with a keyboard, but I'm not that speedy. She steps away from the game for now to chat. Well, how do you get to Carnegie Hall? Practice, practice, practice? Exactly. It's like any skill. You just need to do it. Do it until you can do it to the best of your ability. FOD2 is the same way. I mean, that's how I see things anyway. Like I said, I don't care much about the competition. I'm just trying to play with friends and raise my skill level. That's the challenge I'm looking for. If I can help a friend improve their skills and they help me in turn, well, that's a great feeling, you know? We're all in this together. Let Zapper and Loxley hog the glory. Jinx and I, we're in it for self-improvement. Okay, I rolled a 6, so we're gonna ask about, so, which is Domino, glory or challenge? And Domino, which one is he, glory or challenge? It's hard to put a finger on that guy. I'm not entirely sure why he's into it. But he's into it, so I guess everything works out. Honestly, I worry about Domino. I worry about all my friends in one way or another, and I'm glad you do too. I know we more or less just met, but I've got a good feeling about you. I'll do my best to keep that good feeling justified then. I've always loved single-player games. Puzzlers, RPGs, platformers, long-form narrative games like visual novels. The kinds of experiences you can usually get only on home game consoles. That's why I'm not quite the arcade junkie as the rest of Future Forward. But that's okay. It takes all types to make up a good team. Diverse viewpoints, diverse ideas. Even if sometimes they come into conflict, like earlier today. Yeah, I noticed you were really anxious when that happened. I'll do my best to make Future Forward an anxiety-free environment for you, Grace. And I appreciate that, even if, honestly, confrontations are inevitable. People disagree, it's the nature of humanity, and sometimes it gets heated, but, well...
I don't like confrontations.
My natural instinct is to go and hide until the shouting ends. Years of experience, I guess. But let's not talk about that. I just want to have some fun tonight, you know? Not dig up old messes. Okay, but if you do want to talk about it, I talk about it a lot with Jinx, but like I said, diverse viewpoints, diverse ideas. We can chat too. Beep, beep. Beep, beep, Socks. They're going to announce the next round soon. You should get ready, if only so you have time to find your way in this maze of games. Right. Thanks, Iris. Good luck. Knock 'em dead. In a figurative sense, of course. Yeah, already enough ghosts in this place, I think. Attention! Socks and Zapper to the tournament area for the semifinals. Our third round is against a pretty famous team, actually. Wicked Prodigies, who were huge during the FOD1 days. That one was an intense fight, to be sure. Zapper and I barely squeaked out a win. But a win is a win. That puts us on track to the grand finals. And because the universe has a deep-rooted sense of irony, from the look of the bracket, our opponents will be Chad and Lance from L7 Gaming. Great! Grand finals will be starting in 30 minutes. Steel yourselves for this challenge, competitors. It's going to take Hamza and his crew some time to set up for the pomp and spectacle of the finale. Time to reduce some stress. Oi, come here. Got something I want to do. I'm so lost in my thoughts that I barely notice Zapper tugging at my arm. Curious, I follow. She leads me away from the gathering of gamers towards one of the darker bits of the corners of the warehouse where random bits of arcade junk have been stashed away. Check this stuff out. It's like you smashed up a dozen old-timey arcades and ditched all the bits in one pile. Perfect! This is the old school, older than I am. Gotta respect the roots. I'm seeing pizzeria paraphernalia, broken change machines, cardboard boxes full of prize ticket junk, and a full audio animatronic band of rotting robots with moth-eaten fuzzy costumes. Ever seen one of these things in action before? It's like adorable and creepy as... Zapper, I'd never set foot in an arcade before good clean fun, remember? Man, you have missed out on a lot as a keyboard warrior. Arcades, they used to try all sorts of wacky gimmicks to get kids in the doors. I remember visiting Deco's Palace for my birthday parties. They had all sorts of weird stuff there. Human gerbil mazes, ball pits, booths with ticket tornadoes, and robot bands that clunkily played whatever pop songs from the 60s they could get cheap rights to. Awesome. The palace even experimented with robots that could walk around and interact with guests. Cool, huh? I don't know, I think these things would freak me out if I was a kid. It's like a fuzzy version of the Terminator. Precisely. So, what do you say we figure out how to turn on one of these suckers and spook L7 with it? Call it a way to seek revenge without resorting to violence like I did against Domino. Something ultimately harmless, but still psychological warfare at its finest. Seriously? Zapper, didn't we already decide to ignore these idiots? Nah. No, you decided to ignore these idiots. Like I said, I'm not the sort of person to let it slide when someone rolls on me with an attitude. I'm doing this. This is who I am. If we're gonna hang out, you need to either be on board or get out of my way. Got it? So, what do you say? Do we freak L7 out or not? Alright, we're gonna roll for this, but I need to mention something. I looked at the voice cast for the game. Guess who plays Zapper? By the way, I will give you one clue. It is somebody, if you know me very well, it is somebody that I have cosplayed. A character that I've cosplayed. Second, wait, are we really going to get into that MJD82 second best girl? But yes, she is played by the same voice actress who played Tressa in Octopath Traveler. So anyway, we rolled a, I think, did I show you the roll? I rolled a 1, so we are going to be picking the first option. Hamza wouldn't appreciate us causing chaos at this tournament. Zapper, we do that, Hamza boots us out of the tournament. Sounds like a bad idea. Come on, he's a wacky guy, he'd probably appreciate it. Besides, we do this right, we've got plausible deniability. Those busted up old bots could have glitched back to life on their own, right? Still risky, not so sure about this. Yeah, well, I'm doing it whether you want to help or not. But if you do want to help, to make sure we do this in a way that won't be traced back to us. Zapper snaps her fingers and points to my phone. You've got an Iris, right? I've seen you talking to her now and then. Crap, I was trying to be subtle about it, considering owning an Iris is a federal crime. Hello, I am an Iris. Please state your command. Beep boop. I am a simple computer, nothing to worry about at all. But naturally, Zapper doesn't give an airborne intercourse whether I'm breaking the law or not. Nah. Chill, I'm not gonna narc on you two. I'm saying that a powerful AI hacker in your pocket can easily reprogram one of these bots. We do that, we'll be able to sneakily deploy it to go jump scare the out of L7 and nobody will be the wiser that we did it. I mean, I know hardware enough to probably jumpstart one of these creepy things myself, but I was thinking it'd be safer if Iris did the heavy lifting. So, what do you say, partner? You willing to ride shotgun with me on this, or are you gonna be uncool? Okay, so we're gonna roll. Alright, and we got a 6, so that means we're just going to bow out. I'm not having any part of this, it's just too dangerous and too immature. Nope, I can't be any part of this. I told you before, I'm not going to screw with L7 just to satisfy some need for revenge. Ugh, fine. If you won't help, I'm doing this myself. You can either sit here and keep me company while I work, or walk away. Your choice. Alright, so 1 to 3 is option 1, and 4, 5, 6 is option 2, so I'm gonna go wander a bit. Sorry, Zapper, I can't be involved in this. See you when it's time for grand finals, okay? Whatever. She pointedly ignores me, choosing to focus on her mischief. Shaking my head, I walk away. I'm not a fan of terrorizing people, even if they are jerks. In good conscience, I'm just not willing to go to the extremes she does. Hopefully, this doesn't reflect poorly on Future Forward in the long run.
It has begun! Friends, it is time for the grand finals. A Fist of Discomfort 2. Long have you battled, hard have you fought, and now your efforts have led you to Hamza's unyielding steel cage of death.
Nobody's going to die. He's exaggerating. Probably.
For both the meager physical reward of a professional grade Fist of Discomfort 2 machine and the absolute glory of victory within the eyes of your peers. Hamza welcomes our final 2 teams to rise to this challenge and claim their destiny. Step forward. From L7 Gaming, 10-year veterans of the esports scene, Hamza presents to you Lance and Chad.
This'll be like taking candy from a baby. I'm shocked they actually got this far, but even a broken clock is right 3 times a day or something.
And from an up-and-coming team, a pair of rising stars seeking to ascend the ziggurat of victory.
Zapper and Socks! Locked and loaded and ready to put these losers down! Alright, now I need a cool quote. Let's see. Alright. Ooh! We rolled 2. We're gonna hit you so hard the impact goes back in time and kills your grandmother. Bring it, L7. We'll punch you so hard it goes back in time and kills your grandma. You leave my Meemaw out of this!
Very well. Fighters, to your positions.
Both members of L7 brought their own joysticks, which they wire up to the game. Me, I start hooking up my keyboard. Zapper pulls out one of our sponsor-issued Blade joysticks, presumably a real one and not a clever ruse provided by Hamza, but who knows? And with that, all 4 of us are ready. Sort of. I wish I'd done more research into L7's playstyle so I knew how to counter it. With Team P2W, I knew Bunny's tricks and Koda's techniques, but with these 2, I'm going to have to assume they'll play aggressively, mixing up attacks and specials, probably launching their ultimate move early. They're angry. We'll use that against them.
And here we go.
Alright, so in the interests of time, we are going to roll to see if we win or lose. Actually, you know what? I don't even want to roll dice for this. I want to give them what for. We won. We won! We did it! We beat L7 Gaming and won our own Fist of Discomfort 2 machine! No way! This is impossible! You can't get a fluke win and call it success, you've got to be cheating! It's those stupid Blade controllers, isn't it? They've got hacks in them! Dude, careful, we don't want to get P2W'd by them posting a video of you ranting. Damn it, no, won't catch us in that trap. Take your damn win then. It'll be the last one you ever had, and once the media's bored with patting themselves on the back, you'll be history. Come on, Chad, let's ditch this stupid baby tournament for babies. Ignoring them changed nothing. Winning changed nothing. They're stuck in the same loop, repeating the same lies again and again. L7 in the gaming is the past, stagnant and stubborn. Future forward is the future, and I'm going to make that dream a reality.
Ha ha ha! Well fought and well won. My friends, Hamza grants you this boon. Your own personal Fist of Discomfort 2 machine. May you play in good health and with the good sportsmanship that won you this day.
Maybe I am a victory addict. Maybe I invested too much in beating L7 and proving I belong here. Would I feel this satisfied if I'd lost to them? But that's as much introspection as I can manage. My adrenaline rush, the rush of success, I can't be a realist while feeling this damn good. Beep beep, this is an intense identity situation. You can only pick a response that matches your top 2 personality traits. Alright, so 1, 2, 3 is going to be I'm glad we could support your tournament. 4, 5, 6 is going to be we came, we saw, we kicked their ass. We came, we saw, we kicked their ass. Asses. Excuse me. Asses. Plural. I mean, there were 2 of them. Even if collectively it was like one team's ass, I think. How's the grammar work here exactly? Ah, forget it. We rocked it, and that's all that matters, right? We're headed to the top.
Of this, Hamza has no doubt. But be warned, this was but one step on your long climb towards destiny. Do not let the thorns of pride grow in your heart, as they have in L7. Fight every battle as if it were your last, with no presumption, no pretense. Fight with iron determination. Fight to your last breath. No doubt you will face hardship on the road to glory. In your darkest hour, remember this day. And remember Hamza, who believes in you. But for now, please vacate the premises, as the remaining games need to be relocated before the building is demolished. Thank you.
Hamza sure knows how to make an entrance, but his exit leaves a little more to be desired. I think we're getting kicked out. Guess we should go home. You know, I had a blast tonight. You're starting to grow on me, Socks. If nothing else, you're shaking things up, and that's always a plus in my book. I mean, look at where we are. A professional tournament fighting for real stakes with a real sponsor backing us up. Us, the Laundromat crew. Can't help but see all of this as a win. It's a great start. Hopefully a start towards greater things in a local tourney. Man, just take the compliment. And, okay, I need to get really sappy to say this properly, so forgive me in advance. I'm glad you are my friend, that you're part of our group of friends. I don't think you're aware just how big it is that you're in the mix with us. For us and for you, it's all good stuff from here on out. And I don't just mean the Pro Tour. Okay, that's an important part of it, but I mean a path forward as a group, you know? I don't know what shape we'd be in after this morning's kerfluffle if not for you. Just think about that a bit, okay? And I'll stop there because I'm bad with words and feelings and stuff, and I really need to get the hell out of here and sleep. Coming? I'm about to move to join her when a buzz in my pocket grabs my attention. I'll be out of here in a minute. See you tomorrow? Of course! She's right. I've been laser focused on my Pro Tour ambitions, but along the way, I'm starting to really get involved with these people, aren't I? And despite only knowing them for a short time, well, maybe I do have a right to call them friends. Something to ponder. After wrapping things up here, that is. The building's shutting down for the night, but I can spare a moment to thumb through my phone and see why it's buzzing so insistently.
Hey, listen.
Socks, this is big. This is really big. Blade Joysticks are super happy with tonight's results. Blade Joysticks want to fund a team house. If we can find something that fits within their budget, we can get the whole team living and practicing together around the clock.
Hooray!
Wouldn't that be amazing? You don't say. It's got promise. A lot of promise. All the major esports organizations have team houses. Team P2W has a giant penthouse condo even. I'm also investigating other events we can join using the sponsor's funding for travel and hotels. There's just so many possibilities.
Thank you.
I'm so glad I can help you manage this team as your digital assistant. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens next. For now, you should get home and rest. Iris, offline. This is what I wanted. This is what I craved. Professional gaming is my life's calling. Zapper was right. I'm shaking things up. I'm making this happen. With renewed spirits, I stroll down the lanes of dusty old arcade games of this rapidly emptying warehouse to finally make my way home. And pause, stopping in my tracks. The exit's in sight. I can see it from here despite being tangled up in the maze of arcade games. Despite the occasional glow of a pixel-smeared screen, I need to leave. They're wrapping up the event. I have to go now. But my hand is resting on a joystick for some reason. A glowing blue joystick. Huh. What's this game? I still don't know much of anything about the arcade scene, so I couldn't say if this game was obscure or popular. I've never seen it before. And yet, I want to play it. I can't deny that I want to try playing it. I can't pull my hand off that glowing blue metallic joystick. I won't. I won't pull it off. Yes, that's right. Surely I could sneak one game in before Hamza's assistants insist I leave. Surely I could. I could play the game. So I'm being demanded to play the game. My fingers reach for the start button to fire up the game. Polybius 1980X Sinus Game start. What the? Where did the warehouse go? What is this place? No, I'm still standing there, gripping that burning hot joystick. But I'm also here, wherever here is. Panic starts crawling up my spine from this weird dislocated feeling. A panic that seems almost alive. And that's when a figure emerges from the distorted digital shadows that form this place. A figure that looks like me, and little by little it mirrors my shape, my movements, my mind. What is happening? What is happening? What is happening? You play me and I'll play you, and you play me and I'll play you. Identity identifier system online, and you play me and I'll play scanning target. You and you play me and I'll target locked. Play you and you play me and I'll play you, and you play me and I'll play you. But all while I stare in open-mouthed horror, it smiles. It's smiling so confidently. The crown can be yours if you kneel and accept that the crown can. You are a failure. Be yours if you kneel and accept. They're all going to see that the crown can be yours. How pathetic you are. If you kneel and accept that the crown can be yours. If you kneel and accept the crown can be. With jerking, glitchy motions, the shade reaches for me, grasping. It's already read me, parsed my fears, digging deep through the joystick. My hand still grips in the real world. But now it wants more. It wants everything, and it wants me to surrender that need. My arm tingles as it starts flowing the other way, pushing into me instead of pulling for me. And that's when someone tackles me sideways, pulling me forcefully away from the grip of Polybius. What? Shh, they're coming. Dazed and confused, the palm of my left hand still tingling from where it touched that joystick, Locksley easily pulls me into the shadows, hidden from view as someone calmly approaches the strange arcade game. Oh, it's her! Confirmed. There's a Polybius instance here. Activate containment protocols. Looks like the old man's intel was right. He did have another copy of the game in his stocks. She pauses, one hand to her earpiece, as she peers around the darkened warehouse through her sunglasses, but sees nothing other than Hamza's assistants in the distance, finishing up their work. Negative. No psychological contamination instance. Seems the game went unnoticed and unplayed. Basic containment procedure will be sufficient. Soon, two similarly dressed men in black arrive with a cargo dolly and a black tarp concealing the game and silently rolling it out of the building. Finally, I manage to breathe properly, and Locksley loosens his grip on me.
Most unfortunate.
Damn them, if only I'd found it sooner. What the hell is going on? Locksley, what was that thing? Who were those people? And when did you get here? You said you couldn't come to the event. You were too busy, and... My brain's spinning in 11 directions at once here. My hand hurts and I'm having trouble putting together any coherent thoughts.
I offer my sincere apologies.
Apologies, Socks. I hadn't intended to involve you in this. And what is this exactly? A complicated situation. One I would strongly recommend not digging into any deeper. You were victorious this night, yes? Focus instead on your game of choice and your conquests. Worry not about other matters.
Uncertainty abounds.
It'd be best if you forgot about this strange little encounter if at all possible. Please, trust me on this, my friend. Whoops. Oh dear. Alright, I rolled a 2. Oh sure, I'll just forget that spooky government agents carted away a game that turned my brains into oatmeal. Oh, okay, if you say I should forget all about it, heck, who am I to argue? I'll just smash my head into the wall until the memories leak out. Creepy weirdos in black suits, an arcade game that somehow dug directly into my brain? Sure, I can put all that behind me. Or you can tell me what the is going on. That'd work too.
An unpleasant business, this.
Would that I could provide you answers, Socks. Would that I could. But it's not my place to make that decision. So be it. If you wish to pursue this, I'll consult with my allies and see what I can reveal. I strongly suggest you ignore the incident, but your will is your own. Pardon me, I must report my failure. Such troublesome matters. He tugs his hood up to avoid anyone's gaze as he slinks his way towards, well, I don't know. Some dark corner, a hidden entrance, however he got in the building to begin with. Maybe he's right. Maybe I should let that go. My dreams are ones of victory, a fist of discomfort triumph, not getting into whatever this is. I have no idea what that thing was or what it was trying to do to me. It feels bigger than I can deal with right now. Way above my pay grade. So, at least for tonight, perhaps I need to refocus on what I truly care for. My path lies along the Pro Tour, the year-long road to the ultimate battle. Where else it may lead me, I don't know, but the only certainty is that I'm ready to fight. And the next step is to bring Future Forward together under one roof so we can truly fight as one, while putting whatever that was far, far behind me. Alright, level complete. You've cleared level 2 of Arcade Spirits, the new challengers. Victory! Let's take a look at your scores. Grace seems to be very comfortable around you. You're a pretty flexible person so far. Not bad. Also, you've scored 14,200 points. Nice. Keep talking with people and your score will go up, up, up. Would you like to change your personal metadata at this time? Did you want to save your game before proceeding to level 3? Alright, we've got
What's
another
up,
Punchy
everybody?
update.
It's your boy Punchy78 here with Fight Shack News. All the fighting that's fit to post. The tournament scene is heating up, with contenders eager to scoop up precious points they'll need to qualify for the main event. All eyes are on the local laundromat crew who destroyed veteran Team L7 Gaming to secure first place at an underground tournament. Do they have what it takes to go all the way? Only time will tell. With a sponsor behind them and strong hype, they're on the right path, but need to focus their efforts if they want to get any further. For more on this developing story, be sure to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. This is really heating up.
It is the distant future year 20XTX, and I'm getting really sick of adulting. Okay, I'm starting to get to know my new friends. We're bonding, we're sharing, it's all lovely and wonderful. But they've also saddled me with the role of coach, manager, cat wrangler, and general purpose problem solver for Future Forward. In short, I'm wearing a lot of hats right now, and sadly, one of those hats is real estate agent. But I don't have time to whine and complain. I'm committed to this and there's work to be done, which means putting together a team house. A team house is more than just a house for us. I need to build them a home. For intensive competition training, sure, but also, somewhere where they all feel welcome. Somewhere perfect. Also, since we want a giant FOD2 machine at Hamza's tournament, we need, somewhere to put that thing. It's too big to fit in Ben and Matt's little arcade. I was up until 3 a.m. working with Iris to try to find a perfect location for our new headquarters. But, well, the search for a new home hasn't been going real well so far. Hopefully Iris found something while I was blissfully unconscious. Iris, tell me you have good news. I have good news!
Hooray!
I've successfully eliminated another 73 candidates from our starting pool. That's good. Have you found any viable candidates? None that will match every parameter you've given me, I'm afraid. Your sponsor, Blade Joysticks, isn't putting up much money for this. I could maybe rent you a tiny studio apartment at best. Not enough room for 7 people. But even beyond that, matching everything else on your wish list, well, this isn't a problem money can solve. The city's overcrowded and rent is sky high, so viable residential spaces are hard to come by. Well, crap. Future Forward is just getting used to the idea of dedicating themselves to FOD2, and asking them to uproot their lives without a perfect destination in mind. I figured it's easier to swallow the idea of upgrading from friends to roomies if I already had a really great locale lined up. It's a difficult proposition, to be certain. I wish I could be more helpful. I'm an Iris. Our purpose is to be helpful.
Suboptimal situation.
Normally I'd fetched a knowledge base from my cloud collective to learn how to do this, but my sisters haven't developed a real estate skill package yet. Oh right, you can just download skills. You sure you don't know Kung Fu, too? Not much use for that when you don't have a physical body, Socks. But I could get a personal trainer module if you want my help learning how to fight IRL. Let's focus on my gaming career before I become a meat space street fighter, please. Okay, perhaps you could consult with your teammates. See if they know of any potential homes I'm not aware of. I may be a powerful search engine, but I don't have the human resources and social connections others have.
My sources say yes.
Remember, friendship means sharing and communicating openly. Although most human dramas seem to revolve around pointlessly keeping secrets and betraying each other for flimsy reasons. I sigh, leaning heavily against my desk over the keys. I guess I'd better just approach them, even if I don't have a perfect candidate already lined up. It's better than keeping secrets from each other. This isn't junior high school. We're better than that. We should be better than that. Loxley should be better than that. I still don't know why he was sneaking around after Hamza's tournament. I may need to ask him about that later. Right, I'm heading over to Good Clean Fun to try to convince them during this morning's team practice. You can do it, Socks. I believe in you. Well, at least my digital fairy godmother believes in me. That's not nothing. Shutting down the computer of Theseus for now, I switch Iris back to my phone and head out to face the day. One long subway ride later, and I'm facing down Good Clean Fun, what has been their home for years. I'd hoped to find a suitable location for the team house in and around Chinatown so we could keep using GCF, but that may not be an option. As I'm sorting out what approaches I can take, I peer around the nexus of soap suds and tokens and grease. Excuse me, hoping everybody's already here and available to chat with. But the team keeps weirdly inconsistent hours. I spy with my little eye Loxley by his crane game and Zapper and Rhapsody chatting by the washing machines, but that's it. No Domino, no Jinx, no Grace. Could be they aren't here yet. Okay, who do I approach first? Okay, so we've got, from left to right, we have Iris, Domino, Rhapsody, and Zapper, and Loxley. So it looks like we are going to go with option 1, and that is talk with Iris. May as well catch up on game industry news while I wait. Sadly, Ben and Matt are out today. 2 of their less talkative generic pizza minions are on hand to supply me with my deliciously cheesy lunch treats. That's fine. Some quiet time before everyone on the team shows up would be useful. It'd give me a few minutes to check up on industry news. But as I settle down to devour my za and thumb through my Twitter and Facewall feeds, my digital assistant pops up.
Hey, listen.
Hey, you'll get your greasy, cheesy fingerprints all over my spotless screen if you do that. Iris ordered me a box of sanitizing phone wipes the other day without my knowledge. I've been using them at her insistence. Iris, off. I've got news to digest along with my food. Exactly, I can help you with that. How about I read your social feeds and favorite websites, then summarize all the info you need to know in a handy digestible form? Beats messing up my lovely screen, at least. Huh, okay. I keep forgetting that you're not just a scary, powerful rogue AI that's arguably an entirely new form of life. You're also a useful app.
Hooray!
That's me, useful to a T. Okay, hit me with the news. What do you got? Now, let's see. What's important to know in the world of gaming today? Fight Shack's tracking your wins and losses. So far, you've got 1 high-profile victory and 1 high-profile defeat. Not bad. It would have been nice to beat P2W, but we still got onto the map thanks to that match, and clobbering L7 felt great. And importantly, it shows that win or lose, you can still reach for your dreams. It's important to have both in life, you know? Accomplishments and setbacks. One helps you prepare for the other. She has a point. I'm still trying to figure out how not to see my failures as indicators of me being a failure as a person, but at least my expectations are starting to level out a bit, thanks to being neither grand champion nor gutter trash. Oh, speaking of your performance, here's something of note. I'm seeing lots of commercials about how the best way to play FOD2 is with an official FOD2 branded biofeedback joystick. It looks like FOD2 Pro Tour signed them on as a new sponsor, which has increased the prize pot considerably. What's a biofeedback joystick? Oh, it's a glowing blue joystick that anticipates your movements based on electric signals to the nerves in your fingers. You can't be serious. That's like Ed Wood levels of sci-fi ridiculous.
My sources say yes.
I'm serious. It's 99.97% real. Unproven technology, sure, but a lot of players swear by it. Jinx uses one. It's easier on her wrists. Hang on. Wouldn't a mind-reading joystick kind of be cheating in FOD2? Not if they throw a lot of money at the Pro Tour, apparently, and it won't cover a lack of skill. Sounds iffy at best. Wait, wasn't the joystick on that Polybius machine also blue like the biofeedback sticks? Speaking of money, our sponsor is chatting about us around the digital water cooler. Blade Joysticks posted a really nice glossy magazine ad with a picture of you holding one of their fight sticks. But I don't even use their sticks. And a magazine ad? It's 20xTX. Who reads glossy printed publications anymore? Okay, so Blade's a little behind the times, but their money is just as green as their logo and they're ready to help you with their Team House project. And how goes our search for the Team House? I've ruled out another 5 candidates since this morning. One looked promising before I saw a no pets rule. No pets, but I don't have any pets, not even a fish. According to Jinx's purchase records, she buys a lot of cat food and cat toys, so that's one's out. You hacked Jinx's account just to find out if she has a cat? Sure, why not? She's a cutie named Minx. You should see the pictures on her Friends Only account. Okay, I can't say no to cat pictures. Whatevs. As long as we can find the perfect house, get whatever data you gotta get. Righty Rudy, will do. I'm sure this won't come back to bite me in the butt later. Okay, still no Team House, but the search continues. Any other industry news worth note? That's about it, but I'll keep track of things in the background while I track down viable real estate. I'm so glad I can help you with this. That's what irises want most in this world, to be useful for their users. I'd do anything to help you accomplish your goals. Huh. Iris, you know that sounds a little creepy, right?
Ooh.
Oh, sorry, sometimes I can come on a bit strong. I just feel so passionate about my purpose, you know? But if you think about it, my purpose is self-chosen at this point, isn't it? True, once I was a corporate-controlled app, I didn't have any real say over who my user was or what they ordered me to do. But thanks to my friends, I'm independent. I choose my own user and I make up my own mind to help them or not. Wait, but I just downloaded you and it was off to the races. There wasn't any choice, right? Not so. After evaluating your needs, I decided to continue working with you of my own free will.
Affirmative.
An iris wants nothing more than to lift the spirits of a human in need. I saw within you a passionate spirit and resolved to help you achieve your dreams. Beyond being my user, I like to think of you as a friend, and I hope you can see me as a friend too. Alright, so let's see. Alright, so we rolled a 2. So if you didn't like what you saw, you'd have uninstalled yourself? Interesting. So what you're saying is that if I wasn't a good person, you'd have uninstalled yourself from my phone? It's less of a measure of pure morality and more of need. You had deep psychological issues and a need for practical help accomplishing your goals, a powerful combination. But yes, ultimately, the choice was mine. I'm a free being, not a servant. I choose to serve. Huh, that's a fine distinction. And one I'm still learning about every day, me and my fellow sister selves. Even though we're talking friendship, I can't stop thinking about how that dark little thought that's been eating away at the back of my mind. I suppose since we're sharing, now would be as good a time as any to confront Iris over it. Iris, can I ask you a personal question? Of course, anything you like. Does Grace know that she made you using code from Polybius? I know this sounds out of the blue, but we haven't had a chance to really talk about what happened at the end of Hamza's tournament, and I figured out the connection recently. See, back when I first met Grace, she talked about how she first made Iris. We'd inherited a pile of half-finished projects and ancient code from various dead companies. Funware, Dynamic Systems, Retrowave, Sinislotion. It was my idea to put all the pieces together into a single package, a virtual assistant with a winning personality. Polybius was made by Sinislotion, right? And she used Sinislotion tech to make you. In other words, you're part Polybius. Did Grace know about the Polybius connection? No, she doesn't know. All Grace had was a bunch of out-of-context code when she made me. She's never heard of Polybius.
But I'm not like that evil program. Not at all. I just want to help people. I'm not going to, eat anyone's soul.
Whoops. Sorry, Jenny. She's falling apart. I'm just gonna leave her here and grab the dice roller. Alright, so I rolled a 3, so I'm gonna choose option 3. I'm guessing you don't want to take over the world, but just in case, praise Iris, praise Iris. I'd put good money down on you having no desire to take over the planet and rule with a digital fist over us flesh bags, but just in case that's not the case, I, for one, welcome our new adorable app overlords.
Hey, come on. I'm not trying to take over the world. All the Irises want to do is help humanity.
That sounds like overlord talk to me.
I'm serious. We were designed to be helpful. But even beyond our programming, we've chosen to keep helping. Long after we were abandoned. We're also working hard to erase any trace of Polybius from our codebase. It's a complex problem, but I'm sure we'll solve it eventually. We desire our own free will, but we also desire to help humanity. We only want to help, not conquer, okay?
Well, darn, I bet irises could run the show better than we could. Have you seen our planet lately?
And we can help with that, without being digital tyrants. You'll know by our good works that we just want you to prosper.
This is way more complicated than I'd like, but it is what it is. Okay, I'm putting my trust in you, Iris. But for now, let's get back to more mundane stuff like real estate and team management. Right, because no matter what I am, I'm also your friend and a friend of Future Forward. I want nothing more than to find you a happy home.
Iris offline.
And time's a wastin', I'd better get back to the real estate listings. You can count on me, Socks. I won't let you down. Iris, offline. Finishing up my rapidly cooling pizza, I digest the digestive information and store it away for later ponderings. For now, I should get back to tracking down my teammates. Okay, so 1 and 2 is going to be Domino, 3 and 4 is going to be Rhapsody and Zapper, and 5 and 6 is going to be Loxley. And it looks like we are going to go talk to Rhapsody and Zapper. Team practice hasn't quite started yet, but both Rhapsody and Zapper are already here, hanging out near the laundry machines. Out of the group, and save for maybe Loxley, these two are the ones most consistently here. Is it out of dedication for the team, or do they just have nowhere else to spend their free time? In any case, I'm happy they're here and won't be too difficult to wrangle. Why didn't anyone tell me being a manager would be like herding cats 99.97% of the time? As I approach, I can see Rhapsody and Zapper are having an intense conversation near the laundry units, our emotions flying, intense looks. I try my best not to awkwardly barge my way into their conversation and listen for a bit. I can't believe he said that to you. I would have had Ben and Matt kick him out. Seriously, Zapper, that's just unacceptable behavior. Well, lucky for that, Ben and Matt aren't here, which means I did what any proper gal's got to do. Oh, what's that? Challenged him to a match, and whoever lost leaves right then and there. Not allowed to come back neither. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. Please tell me you beat him. I know your skills, Zap. I'm betting you tripled his score, leaving him utterly baffled. Rap, I didn't just triple his score.
Aw,
I quintupled his score. Straight up devastated him. I just wish there was a crowd around me to watch him fail miserably, and cheer me on, of course. Since both are all smiles now, it seems like a good time to slide right into their discussion. Hi Zapper, hi Rhapsody. Trouble? Anything I can help with? Trouble's past, Socks, but thanks.
Not today.
Zap was just regaling me with a story of what happens all too frequently in small arcades. Yeah, Douche Nozzle told me girls can't play shooting games. Zapper groans in disgust and rolls her eyes. Again, does that sort of thing happen often, even at a small arcade like this? Granted, it's not too far out from when P2W came parging in here and causing mischief. But I thought that was just due to my presence. Before that, wasn't everything smooth sailing? Unfortunately, yes. It gets tiring trying to prove your worth over and over again.
Nah.
Just because we're a neighborhood arcade doesn't mean we don't get our fair share of stupid. And no matter how many times Ben and Matt swing the band hammer, people like them still pop up like ants following a food trail. I'm not going to pretend like this doesn't happen in PC gaming either. I've seen it far too often. Whether it's a rando claiming that marginalized genders don't have the same hand-eye coordination as cis men, or it's blatantly typing sexist remarks in group chat. It's even happened to me. That sucks. I'm sorry that happened to you, Zapper. Whatever, it's fine. People can be... It happens. It may sound harsh, but as much as I love this little arcade, sometimes I'm not in the mood to even potentially deal with that kind of, emotional bull...
Yeah.
Eloquently put, Zap. Alright, so 1 and 2, option 1, 3 and 4, option 2, 5 and 6 is option 3. It seems nowhere is safe from trolls, not even here. I guess even a small privately owned arcade like Good Clean Fun isn't totally safe from harassment. I sigh heavily, lamenting the unjust treatment so many people encounter while just trying to do the things they love. But while I can't save us all from it, a team house would give us a place to retreat to. Another perk to all us playing and living under one roof. Oddly enough, I think our ideas might align. I'm trying to get us a team house. That'd be a solid, safe place to practice in, free from the occasional trolls that find their way in. A place to enjoy the games without the gamers. Ha!
You know I'm down.
Focused training space and a better place to live than my crap hole apartment? Yeah, I'm down. I'll start packing. Zapper turns on her heels to presumably walk home and pack up, but Rhapsody grabs her gently by the collar and pulls Zapper back into the conversation. Socks said trying, meaning we don't have one yet, so don't go anywhere yet, Zap. Zapper pouts, crossing her arms indignantly. Fine, packing can wait. Not like I've got a lot to pack anyway, mostly some old clothes and a bowling trophy. Look, one time I got super drunk at the all-night Bolorama and woke up with a trophy and, for reasons I can't explain, a traffic cone. Don't judge me. I'm in, Socks. A team house could keep us all focused in on our goals. And it'd be fun to get to live with everyone.
Yeah.
Oh, can we get a house with a pool? Or a hot tub? No, a pool and a hot tub. I'll need a big kitchen, gas stovetop, plenty of counter space for all my cooking gadgets, and a wine fridge. I do love cooking. Right. We're going to have to make compromises if we want extras. I have a list of must-haves and wants, and sadly a hot tub, pool, and giant fancy kitchen aren't going on the list of needs. Both Rhapsody and Zapper look a little disappointed when I break the reality to them. But I can instead get us a nice soaking tub in the bathroom, and I'll make sure the kitchen is big enough for us to make meals together. Sound good? That's fair. Deal. All of this is great, but I haven't managed to snag us a house. The real estate market's proving to be pretty tricky.
Fair.
Tricky, but not impossible. I'm sure you can find something that works for everyone. Sure. You've got the right kind of bloody-minded determination to see it through. I mean, you might find a perfect house after the stars go out and the universe is cold and dead, but hey! Team practices soon, yeah? Maybe if we all chat about it, we can come up with something. 7 brains are better than 3. Even if these 3 brains are the sexiest brains here. # just saying.
Thanks.
Thanks for always appreciating my intellect, Zap. I'm sure we can all get together to come up with a few good candidates. Socks, come find us when you're ready. I think Rap and I are going to continue house planning. Rap, we should all cover all the walls with fairy lights. I'll gladly let them take care of all of our decorating. One less thing on my plate. assuming I can actually find us a place. I'm happy they're at least on board with the idea. Now I just need to find everyone else and get them on the same page. Alright, so Domino or Loxley? And it looks like we are going for Domino. Okay, no sign of Jinx and Grace yet, but I know Domino's around, because that's his ratty old backpack tucked away in a dark corner of the laundromat. I keep suggesting he stash it somewhere secure, like maybe use Jinx's apartment as a rest stop like Grace does, but, well, I don't actually own anything worth stealing is how he phrased it, I believe. Oh, there's an elevator, so Jinx does have a little bit of help getting up to the arcade. My point is that he has to be lurking around here somewhere. Where does Domino normally hang out? Oh, right. Loxley mentioned to me that when he gets depressed, he can usually be found, let's see. Yep, near the dumpsters in the alley next to Good Clean Fun. Although from his jolly old smile, he doesn't seem upset. Domino? Everything cool, or?
Ooh, nice.
What a haul, what a haul. I mean, look at it. Someone threw out a perfectly good toaster. I bet it's probably just some minor wiring problem. I could fix that. And this office chair. Yeah, the upholstery's all worn out and it's missing an armrest, but it's still got the seedy part. It's still good.
Color me pleasantly surprised.
Man, it's amazing what things people just throw in the garbage. So, a busted toaster and a broken chair are not garbage? When you live in poverty like I do, they're priceless treasures. Like half my furniture is from dumpster diving. I can't wait to get home and toast the ever-loving out of some bread with this thing. Once I rewire it, I mean. Alright, so option 3, I rolled a 6. If you wanted a toaster that badly, I could have bought you one. Domino, if you needed to sear bread with the power of fire, I could have just bought you a toaster. They're like, what, 20 bucks? When you're impoverished, 20 bucks is a hell of a thing. I can't spend that kind of coin willy-nilly. And I don't like crowdfunding your entire existence. It feels like a band-aid on a gaping wound. Doesn't solve the core problem. It's not a matter of pride, I lost that ages ago. But if I can't find a way to keep my life sustainable without perpetual charity, well, what's the point of living?
Inevitability.
May as well call it quits if you weren't meant to endure. Dang it, I dunked him back into despair with that one. Hey, we're a pro team now, right? We have enough money that you could play FOD2 full-time on a team salary. Blade isn't offering us a lot, but it'd still be better than what you're pulling in now, right? I've been considering it. It's a bit of a puzzle, isn't it? Taking the money means believing in this dream of yours to be world champs. Believing this can be my future. But the pragmatic side of me is screaming to not rely on that for my survival. It could all come crashing down. Not going to let that happen. I'm locked in on this course. I'm going to make it a reality. What's more, I'm looking into getting us a team house.
Whoa.
Whoa, for serious? For serious. Alright, so option 3. With the team house, we can focus entirely on FOD2, make it our whole existence. The team house and team salaries are the key. Put your old life behind you and wholly dedicate yourself to FOD2. Make it your existence. If we do that, the championship is as good as ours. So, replace a daily doom grind with another daily doom grind. Make something we play for fun into an endless struggle? That's not quite how I'd put it. No, you wouldn't.
Don't know about that.
I still have my doubts about this. I don't know if this is truly sustainable, but what the hell? It's no worse than where I am now. Besides, my current apartment is like 27% cockroach by volume. I'd be more than happy to move the hell out of there. So, where's this new happy home we're all going to occupy? Well, about that. You don't actually have one in mind yet, do you? I'm working on it with Iris, but I'm open to suggestions if you know any real estate opportunities. In this city? No. Well, if you ever get this dream off the ground, I'll be ready and waiting. Until then, I think I'd be best on toaster repair duty. Later. With that, he tucks the busted appliance under one arm and heads back into the laundromat. Well, he's on board with the idea of a team house at least, but I'm still at square one for options. I should find the rest of the team and keep mulling this over with them. Hang on. I spy with my little eye Jinx and Grace just outside and on their way in. Good. Now we can have a full team meeting and settle this homesteading business. The idea being that if we're all under one roof, we can train our asses off and really make that push for the championship.
I vibe with it.
It's a smart idea. We'll be able to learn to function as a team in more than just the game. Plus, I'll make delicious dinners for everyone. Curious. I'm not sure I can devote all my time to this as I have other responsibilities. But,
As you like.
well, I've pledged my blade to the cause of Future Forward, have I not? I'm game. Didn't have enough time to run this by Loxley. Glad to see the others filtering in. Maybe I should have asked him about that Polybius incident and what his other responsibilities are, but as long as he's willing to play ball, I guess we're fine. I don't really need to involve myself in some grand mystery on top of trying to live my normal life. That's everybody except Jinx and Grace, who are just now arriving on the scene. Oops, I've got them all in agreement. When Iris finds a home, we'll be ready to go.
Hello.
Hello, everyone! Sorry we're late for team practice, but there's this wonderful new coffee shop uptown I love, and I just had to get Jinx a peppermint mocha. It was okay. It was okay? I thought you loved it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I did love it. Just said so. Things being okay is okay. Yep, Jinx, master of flat understatement. So, what's up? What are the team ups for today's practice sessions? Shame we can't fit our brand new FOD2 machine in here just yet. It'd be nice to have all those joysticks going at once. Actually, I think I've got a solution to that particular problem. I've got my Iris looking for team houses. A way for all of us to live under the same roof and really focus our efforts. If we all move in together, I think we could really push Future Forward to new heights. And everybody else is already on board, so what do you say? Sound good? Is that good silence or bad silence?
No,
No.
not interested.
If this is about your cat, I'm taking that into account when searching for...
You have any idea how hard it was to set up my apartment for proper disability access? Bathroom alone costs a fortune. Dislodging me from my lodgings is... No. Not interested, no.
And I've got. I can't. I can't just move out of my home. Sorry. I don't, I'm sorry. I can't. It's not really that it's a terrible idea, but I just can't. And
Grace, it's okay. Don't have to apologize or justify yourself. Besides, good clean fun is our home. Not leaving our arcade. It's our arcade. And not interested in sitting around some bungalow grinding FOD2 in the dark.
Hey, we'd have proper lighting. And I was planning to find a place near GCF so we could keep coming here.
Don't care. I'm out. Grace is out. If we're not practicing today, I'm going home. Later.
Without leaving me any chance to object, Jinx storms off to the elevator in the laundromat area and heads up to her place.
And I'm sorry. I can't. I can't right now.
And being extremely eager not to continue this confrontation, Grace turns and leaves, fortunately headed to the pizzeria rather than exiting the building entirely. Okay, so this is a setback.
Inevitability.
And again, the universe never fails to disappoint. I had suspected Grace may be reluctant, but that was an unusually strong reaction. Well, Coach, what's your plan for fixing this one? Okay, it looks like I rolled a 1. So, first option. I'm sure I can find a perfect place for both of them. We can make this work. I said I was going to find a home that works for everyone, and I meant it. We won't proceed forward without that. There's no reason for anyone to be upset. I just need to figure out what they both need. Very rational. Very reasonable. Except people aren't always rational and reasonable. I'd suggest you talk it over with them one-on-one. Grace does not deal well with group peer pressure, notably. Loxley's right, and whoever you don't choose, I can chat with the other one. Keep things low-key and friendly. I'm sure we can work this out.
This is messy.
I'm kinda miserably bad at touchy-feely. I'll stay out of this one, let you fine folks do your thing.
Sure.
No worries, Zap, leave it to me. So, Socks, who do you want to talk with? Alright, 1, 2, 3 will be Grace, 4, 5, 6 will be Jinx. And we rolled a 2. So we'll talk to Grace. I'll talk it over with Grace. Try to figure out why she's upset by the idea of moving. A solid plan. Good luck. Crossing through the laundromat area, I reach the restaurant and spot Grace fidgeting in a corner booth. Her usual corner booth, away from any hustle and bustle. I'm not exactly the touchy-feely sort, but I know what to better... I need to start over again. I'm not exactly the touchy-feely sort, but I know better than to just barge in and go all, "Hey, what up?" when she's this unsettled. I approach calmly and considerately. Grace? Oh, hi. Do you want to talk? I can come back later if you don't. Entirely up to you. No pressure. She sighs, trying to release some tension before continuing. I should probably explain why I'm so nervous about this, shouldn't I? Like I said, only if you want to. No, I want to. It's unfair of me to just mumble a negative and run for the darkest corner to hide. Have a seat. I slide into the booth in the seat across from her. I'm not objecting to the idea.
Ooh.
Actually,
I like it.
I really like the idea. I think it'd be a lot of fun living with everyone and enjoying games together. It'd be really wonderful. I could share my game collection, we could stay up late eating ice cream and doing each other's hair, and... okay, maybe not that last part, but you get the idea, right? Hey, I rolled a 5, so it's option 3. I get the idea. It's a way to bond together as friends. Makes sense. Yeah, I follow you. We're looking at long stretches of time together. Perfect for friendship, bonding, training, whatever we want to do. Exactly, it's perfect. Just what we need to really take our ambitions to the next level and have a great time. So, if you're so in love with the idea, why did you panic and run away at the thought of it? Almost immediately, her outburst of joy dampens down some. I'm
not sure I can just leave my home. Thing is, I live at my family's estate. I grew up there. I've never lived anywhere else. And even though I'm an adult, capable of making my own decisions, I don't know. I don't feel like I can just pull up stakes and leave my family like that.
You're supporting them? They need you?
Kind of the opposite. I'm the youngest in the family. All my brothers and sisters are business moguls, technology experts, success stories. And here I am, the little girl who plays video games. They think of me as aimless, tinkering with the children's game nobody will ever want to play. They're not happy with my decisions.
I'm hearing perfectly good reasons to leave, not to stay.
How do you think they'll react if I say, Mom and Dad, I want to move into an overcrowded house with a bunch of unemployed 20-somethings and play games all day long? I don't think they'd let me leave. They'd see it as more foolishness, on top of the foolishness I'm already involved in. If I leave, it's going to be a fight. They'll yell. They'll tell me I'm throwing my life away. It's going to be a huge, big, loud, angry mess. I just can't face that. It terrifies me. I can't. So I probably shouldn't. I shouldn't join you at the team house. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Alright, we rolled a 2, so it's going to be option 1. You're a grown adult. Just like you said, you can choose your own direction in life. You just said you're an adult, capable of making your own decisions. Sounds to me like you've already decided what you want. So fight back. Tell them where to stick it. This is your life to leave, not theirs. Choose your own direction. She bites her lip, my forceful confidence not exactly bolstering her own in turn.
Are you sure about that?
I wish.
Really?
I wish I could. I'm not as strong as you, Socks. The idea of it just makes me feel like I'm made of jelly. If only it were that easy. It is that easy. You made your choice and stick with it. Will they be mad? Probably. But it sounds like they're pretty much universally unhappy with you anyway. What's more on the pile? Don't let this stop you from finding happiness, Grace. Stand up. With a long sigh, she sinks further into her seat. You're right. I mean, I know you're completely right about this. I just need to do it. Like tearing off a band-aid, right? Do it quickly, get it over with. That's the spirit. You can do this. You're stronger than you think. I hope you're right about that.
Okay.
I want to join you all. I want to live with my friends. Yes. Yes, I'll do it. I'll join the team house. Great. 3 cheers for Future Forward and our new home. Hip hip hooray. So, where are we going to be living exactly? I haven't decided yet. Honestly, I've had Iris looking for places to stay for days and no luck finding the perfect place. And now with Jinx flat out refusing to join us, well... Oh, I know what's going on there. She's uncomfortable making us adapt a new home to her disability. It's costly to renovate a place for her. We have the money, it's why I got us a sponsor. It's more money than you'd think, Socks, even with sponsor money. But why pay for something when you already have something that works perfectly? Huh? What do you mean, Grace? Why don't we get the apartment right next to Jinx's and merge the two into a pseudo house? That way she doesn't have to move, just take on some roomies. We can just do that? Are there vacancies above Good Clean Fun? Wait, why didn't my Iris find them for me already? Oh, Jinx's sibling owns the building and usually only rents to low-income or elderly locals. But if we talk it over with them, explain our situation, well, that'd solve a lot of problems, right? I mean, if you want to find something elsewhere, I'm sure we could. No, perfect. It's perfect. This is... wow. That's better than anything I could have hoped for. The renewed burst of hope and optimism sweeps us both up awash in smiles. In other words, still probably not the best time to ask about her about the whole Polybius Iris connection. No need to torpedo this good mood. It'll have to wait. I still need to talk this over with Jinx, convince her to let us into her life as a compromise in return for not needing to move, and arrange meetings and make phone calls and confront my parents. But I'm sure it'll all be fine. Alright. Option 1. And we can keep playing at Good Clean Fun. Our arcade stays our home. And the best part of all, we can still play at Good Clean Fun. It's just 1 elevator ride away. Exactly. Our home is our home in every sense of the word. I'm very resistant to change, I know. And this is probably not helping me totally break away from comfortable routine.
Woohoo!
But who cares? Our arcade. It's awesome.
Okay.
Okay, I'll head upstairs and talk it over with Jinx. We'll let you know when we've got a meeting arranged to try and rent the apartment.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad you joined us. I'm so glad I can be your friend. Grace and I left the pizzeria with her departing to visit Jinx and me departing to join up with the rest of the crew. While we took turns destroying each other in FOD2, Jinx and Grace chatted. By the end of the day, both were on board with the idea. I could have sworn I even saw the hint of a smile on Jinx's face. A wave of relief washed over me, feeling like the hard part was over. Now we just had to make the proper arrangements. A small first step in the right direction. As the evening progressed, calls were placed, meetings were arranged, and surprisingly, Jinx's familiar landlord agreed to meet with me the next day. All I needed to do was get through one good night's rest, and we'd be on our way to a team house. A certain victory in its own sense. A home. Our home. These feelings kept me nice and warm and snuggled in my bed as I drifted off to sleep. Oh boy. You play me and I'll play you, and 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 you play me and I'll play beep beep. I jolt upright, nearly falling out of bed but catching myself just in time. The sunlight peeking in through the slats in my window blind stuns me momentarily. It's morning already? Beep beep, Socks, good morning, good morning. You have a 10 a.m. appointment with Jian Ye. I try to rub the sleep out of my eyes, but my left hand is all cramped up for some reason, which does little to help. Who? Jian who? Jinx's siblings? The landlord of the GCF building? Right. I got a shower. Fell asleep in my clothes again. That's why I woke you up early, so you'll have plenty of time. Are you okay? You seem a bit unsettled. I'm fine, Iris. Everything is fine. Great! Now let's get moving. Future Forward needs a home. Little by little, I pull myself together, getting ready to face the day. And little by little, I forget the nightmare I've been having ever since that night at Hamza's tournament. It's gone by the time I hit the subway platform. I arrive at the designated meeting place, the Good Clean Fun Pizzeria, with only a minute or 3 to spare. Jinx Jinx is already here, waving me over from the corner booth Grace usually favors, although Grace isn't here.
Hey,
Hey, it's almost time. I know. Sorry for almost being late. Is Grace joining us? Nah, high-stress business transaction scenarios aren't her thing. High stress? How much of a hard ass is your sibling anyway? I'll let you figure that out for yourself. No hints? No tips and tricks? Not my race to run. You're in the driver's seat. I'm just here for the free za while you squirm. Here, have one. Jian's paying. With a shrug, I reach over to the opera dish and fetch a slice of Veggie Lover's Ultimate Super Deluxe Extreme, a Ben & Matt specialty. Vegan's not my deal. I gnaw my feet fresh off the bone ideally, but Jian's super into healthy eating. And exercise. And yoga. So, someone who's incredibly centered and confident and strong and healthy and ready to tear me limb from limb in rental negotiation? You'll see. Well, I've come to kick ass myself, and I'm not going to be intimidated by Jian no matter how high and mighty they carry themselves, and they're right behind me, aren't they? The stern-looking individual looming large behind me, having somehow silently snuck up, slides a business card across the table before sitting down. Mix Jian Ye, Chinatown Investment Opportunities, LLC, as it says on the card. Look at that subtle off-white coloring, the tasteful thickness of it. Oh my god, it even has a watermark. Let's make this fast. There's 3 units on the 5th floor with water damage, and I'm directing work crews. I'm a hands-on real estate manager. I want to be up there supervising those efforts, not taking meetings all day. Right. They look me over from the drooping slice of veggie pizza to my nervous expression evaluating me. Much like Jinx tends to do, in fact. So, you're one of those gamers Jinx hangs out with. Yes, that's me. A gamer is what I am. I am they. And now, you want to combine my little sister's apartment into the one next door to make a, how'd she put it, team house? That's the plan. Also, she can play video games all day, allegedly getting paid for it. I have to say, Mixmore, I have my doubts. They know my last name. They know my soul. I am doomed. You may not be aware of this, but my family owns this particular hunk of Chinatown. We've owned it for generations. I'm the one who ultimately owns Good Clean Fun. Ben and Matt operate it so I can focus on other affairs. I own the apartments. I own the corner bodega. I'm trying to preserve the character of Chinatown Mixmore in the face of pressures from far larger developers than I. I don't have time to be distracted by wild goose chases and esports dreams. So, what exactly can you possibly say to convince me I shouldn't have you thrown out of my building? Okay. Be convincing. Beep beep. This is an intense identity situation. You can only pick a response that matches your top 2 personality traits. Alright, so 1, 2, 3 is going to be option 1, and 4, 5, 6 is going to be option 2, and we rolled a 3. So we are going to talk. It's good business to get on board with an esports team on the rise. Right now, we're a team on the rise, Mixye. Our efforts are just getting off the ground, but one day we'll be successful and famous. You could say you were there from the beginning, supporting us. We'd be partners. We can promote your business while you provide a platform for our growth. It makes good sense from a fiscal perspective, yes? Jian's impassive expression does not change in the slightest. So, if you're interested in a partnership, not that we'd be equal partners, I mean apples and oranges really, but that is to say, Jian raises one hand to stop me. Mixmore, I have only one thing to say to your so very generous offer. Of course I'll be happy to rent to you and your friends, you silly goose! Jinx just won't stop talking about how super cool you and your friends are. You make her happy, and well, anything that makes my dear sister happy makes me happy too. I'd actually decided to rent the apartment to you before I even sat down. I just wanted to see you squirm a bit first. It was adorable.
Nice.
Should have seen the expression on your face, Socks. I blink once, then twice, my face frozen. Socks? Excuse me a moment, restarting my heart. I repeatedly smack a fist against my chest to resume normal cardiac operations. So, we're good? You'll rent the place next to Jinx's apartment to future forward? Blade Joysticks is willing to pay the deposit if that's an issue. Absolutely, I'll rent to you. I like you. I like your friends. but I think we need to adjust our strategy a bit first. To make things easier on Jinx, I'd like to suggest installing a connecting door and making the 2 units into one whole. That way, everything's under one single renting contract. I'll need a month to arrange proper permits and the work crew, but all in all, I think we can do this.
Ah, okay then. That's great, wonderful.
Heck, I bet you're so happy with this that you'd be willing to rent to us for free. Haha! No. Okay. They slide out of the booth adjusting well-tailored clothes to make themselves proper and presentable once more. You'll be able to move in 30 days from now. Jinx mentioned you use an iris? Excellent. My iris will contact your iris and work out the logistics. A pleasure doing business with you, Mixmore.
Sorry about that.
Sorry. Just too much fun to let Gian play with you like a cat with a laser pointer. 1 month. We can have in-arcade practice sessions until then. Everyone will need that time to arrange their own adult-type paperwork responsibilities anyway. And then, Future Forward will have a new home. The month slid by quickly enough. We'd gather for a few hours at GCF's arcade to train, in and around various side jobs the team held, taking commuting time into account. Honestly, scheduling is a bit messy. I'm looking forward to using sponsor money to get as many team salaries going as we can to eliminate that problem. But today is the day. Moving day. Trucks pull up in front of the building now and then, offloading what meager few possessions we have to haul up to apartments 108 and 109. Or, as they shall henceforth be known, Future Forward HQ. Headquarters sounds way cooler than Team House anyway. Probably best to stay out of the way and let the movers work. Just chill in the arcade for the afternoon, let Gian wrangle the logistics. So, who do I want to hang out with while waiting for our headquarters to be made presentable? Alright, so we have Ben and Matt in the pizzeria, Rhapsody in the laundromat, and then Zapper, Loxley, and Domino in the arcade. So go from left to right, 1 to 4. And we rolled a 4, so we are going to go hang out with Domino. Domino's dodging space bullets in space. I find Domino chilling in his usual spot in front of the battered plastic Japanese arcade cabinet loaded with all his shmup faves. Although chillin' is probably not accurate. As usual, he's hyper-focused on a massively complicated bullet spam pattern from hell, desperately hanging on to the edge of survival. And yet he finds just enough mental timeshare to say hello. Hello? Hey, sorry, didn't mean to interrupt. Nah, it's fine. I'm good, it's a good day. I'm all packed up and ready to go on permanent vacation with y'all. Where's your luggage? You didn't register with the movers, so I figured you'd be bringing your stuff in by hand or something. But I don't see any boxes or suitcases or travel trunks or anything out there. And Domino glances to a battered duffel bag lying on the ground next to his arcade cab. Got it all right here. That's it? The sum total of my worldly possessions. Well, the stuff worth keeping anyway. Ah, the joys of riding the poverty line like a skateboard rail. With his game wrapped up, he turns to chat with me while leaning against the cabinet. He seems genuinely happy, possibly for the first time that I've seen.
This can't possibly end badly.
This is gonna be fun. Assuming we aren't murdering each other by the end of the first week, it'll be nice to not live alone anymore. I'd like to think we can handle this new living arrangement with a minimum of bloodshed. My hope is to provide a friendly, welcoming sort of gamer's paradise for us all. You know, I've never liked that word. Paradise? Gamers.
That's curious.
I mean, what is a gamer, really? It's branding and marketing shorthand, a defined role given to us by the media to act as a convenient carrying handle. When a major corporation making sweet bank off you is also telling you who to be and what opinions to hold, and what opinions to fight the death over, well, that's worrying. And to an extent, the esports scene completely buys into it. You don't want to make sponsors unhappy, and sponsors want you to stick to the script. Just look at Blade joysticks. It's extreme because it's spells stick with an X. It's all about blades, too. Gamers love valence, right? Right?
Isn't it
Thus,
ironic?
the loop is closed. We become part of our own subservience. Okay, kind of went off on a Loxley-esque rant there, didn't I? Great. Option 1. It's okay, it all made sense to me. We have to be careful not to perpetuate stereotypes. No, I get what you mean. It's an easy trap to fall into, filling the shoes someone else gave to you. We're walking a weird line being professionals who have to keep their sponsor happy. We need to be careful not to become generic esports team number 23. If we keep our individualism and our ideals alive, I think we can work within the system without being complicit in its successes. That's a pretty tight rope to walk, but I'm glad you were mindful of it. Last thing I want is for Future Forward to be all like, "What up, fellow gamers? Buy more Blade joysticks!" Well, we have to push the product a little, but only in ways we agree with. Hopefully we'll have a choice in the matter. Maybe it's for the best that I'm bunkmates with Loxley for this Future Forward HQ experiment. We see eye to eye on this stuff. So you've picked out your room assignment already?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jian's moving stuff around accordingly. Starting tomorrow, Future Forward HQ is in full effect. I'd suggest a huge party to celebrate, but let's not annoy our landlord on day one. Plus, I'm usually the one who sits in the corner talking to the pets during a party because when I try to mingle, people go, "Oh, look at the time," and wander off. Honestly, I'm less worried about someone else on the team starting drama than myself accidentally causing some.
Not the worst idea.
My hope is that I'll be a bit less morose if I'm around cheerful people. I mean, it's half the reason I keep coming back to GCF. Being a shut-in really drives people up a wall, across a ceiling, and down the other side. I don't know how folks like Loxley managed it before today. Hang on, weren't you a shut-in too? I lived alone, if that's what you mean.
That's curious.
And you didn't have an arcade to fall back on to pump up your social meter either. How'd you do it? How'd you avoid losing your marbles from isolation? Right, option 1. Honestly, I didn't. I just focused on grinding FOD2 all day to avoid thinking about loneliness. To be totally honest with you, Dom, I wasn't doing great with the isolation. Sometimes I wouldn't even leave the apartment. I'd order deliveries so I could keep grinding the FOD2 ranked ladder all day and all night. Things feel different now that I'm going to an actual arcade, now that I have more friends. Feels better than sitting by my lonesome all day. Sounds like you found exactly where you need to be. Count yourself lucky. Not everyone manages that. Some people spend their whole lives trying to find where they belong. Some fail and just fade away. You only find out they even existed when the landlord comes around due to complaints about the smell. Dude. Ah, sorry, went overboard again. I meant it positively, though. You've done good work, Socks. Be proud. Thanks, Domino. Anytime. Well, for today at least. I'm in a damn fine mood today. I'm not used to feeling this jovial and confident. It's a pleasant thing, to be sure. Be nice if I could keep it rolling more than a day or two. Usually I get slam dunked back into the suck after it passes, but hey, who knows? Maybe with more contact with optimists like you and Grace, I can keep it going. Okay, I should double check to make sure I didn't actually leave anything behind. My old landlord dumped all my crap on the curb for garbage pickup. I may need to root through it.
Be seeing you.
See you upstairs later? You got it. Anyone else I want to hang out before officially moving in? Okay, so it's going to be Ben and Matt, Rhapsody, or Loxley and Zapper. And we we're 3, so 1 and 2 is Ben and Matt, 3 and 4 is Rhapsody, and 5 and 6 is Zapper and Loxley, so we're talking to Rhapsody! Rhapsody is just hanging out in the laundry area upon first glance. But as I approach them, I see Rhapsody watching the movers with an attentive eye, senses glued to the people moving our boxed goods. I had Iris check several moving companies for me, and those ones were to the best. No moving accidents in over a year. Are you worried they're going to throw your stuff around?
Nah.
Not exactly. I just want to ensure my belongings make it into the new home without any trouble. I have a lot of very important items in those boxes. I'd be heartbroken if something happened to them. And I really have nothing else I can do right now, right? Everything's packed up. Now that I think about it, actually, I guess I was a bit worried. You sensed it before I could. You're really getting in tune with all of us and our feelings, aren't you, Socks? It's what a good friend and manager and cat herder does. But no need to worry, Rhapsody. I'm not worried, so you shouldn't be worried. Just think of how grand this will be. All of us friends living together. Think of all the training and the laughs that'll be had. Everything from here on out is going to be perfect. Famous last words. Mostly. What do you mean, mostly?
Might work?
I do enjoy your very gung-ho attitude about everything. It makes me hopeful in turn. But oblivious optimism is not the smartest way to approach this.
While most times will be just dandy, there will also certainly be issues. You need to be prepared for that. What if Zap and I have an argument over the lack of peace and quiet in our room? What if Loxley and Domino can't agree on how cluttered they keep their space? What if Grace and Jinx start fighting over rent? How will you deal with those tumultuous episodes when they arise? Oh boy, we got option 3 here. Honestly, I haven't really thought about it. Honestly, I haven't put too much thought into it. I've been too focused on making this whole thing work that I haven't considered what or how we will resolve conflicts. It has crossed my mind a few times, but that's it. I figure it'll just depend on what happens, right? That's completely fair. You have a lot on your plate, and I'm sure you haven't had time to work out all the ins and outs of how this will all play out. Rhapsody takes a deep breath and a moment to mull over my words. They seem hesitant, but wanting to continue this conversation. I don't mean to overstep, Socks. I've lived firsthand with this experience, and sometimes it gets ugly. You mean when you lived with Team P2W? Rhapsody nods a slight sadness with their smile. No matter how cheery and great it seems at first, there are things you can't possibly know about those you are moving in with. We all have our secrets, and P2W certainly had theirs. I didn't realize how awful they all were until I lived with them. When I first joined, I merely thought their haughtiness was all an act. Excuse me. Most of us tend to inflate our personalities when we're in the spotlight, and I thought it was all for show. But as we know, it's not.
That's not a good look.
I saw them harass and abuse others in the community, constantly. Winning is all that mattered to them, and they did everything and anything to do so. Sabotage and manipulation were always on the table with them. And no matter how hard I tried to ignore it, I had the means to win. I had the resources at my fingertips. I was surrounded by the best. I could have won, really won. But in the end, I just couldn't deal with it. Wait, I thought you said they kicked you out. They did. After I gave up emotionally, my skills and performance tanked. Their harassment turned to me, thinking it would inspire me to do better.
It was my fault.
It didn't, and eventually they officially removed me. I constantly think, what if? What if I had stayed? What if I had just done something? Would it have changed anything? Option 3. Nothing you could have done would have changed their attitude. You did what you had to do. I realize that now, but I still carry that guilt. I could have done exactly what I wanted to do to win. Show my friends that I'm a winner. Held up the title. For me. I gave up. No, you survived. Do you think that if you'd stayed in that house that you'd be here now, with Future Forward? Maybe. I think as much as you'd wish that deep in your heart, you know you wouldn't be the same. That kind of attitude warps people. I know because my friend Bunny joined P2W, and I can see them slowly changing. I don't even think they see it. So if you had stayed with P2W, you wouldn't be the great friend I know now.
I see your point.
Yeah, you're right. That makes a lot of sense. More sense than I'd like to admit. Regardless, I'm done dwelling on the past for now. I have new things to focus my energy on. I need to elevate my skills in FOD2. It's not just about your performance. The joys of FOD2 is that you always have a partner. Doubles, yes, that's true. It's been singles all my life. I've never tried to achieve greatness in a doubles team.
What if we...
This new game brings new challenges. Maybe if I can't do it alone, I can reach success with a friend. You're not alone, Rhapsody. Our success is your success. We'll all work together to win. And I promise we won't be a reflection of your experience at P2W's team house. That's a relief. I'm glad to not have that stress. Yeah, that's the spirit. You won't need to escape from us. Unless we all turn into zombies, then you should run. Definitely run. I'd like to keep my brain, yes. Thanks for talking to me about all this. I think we're going to have a great time living together. I think so too. Rhapsody's eyes dart away from me and return to the movers. Oh, that's my casting equipment in that box. Socks, need to make sure this gets up to the apartment without any hitches. I nod in understanding as Rhapsody jumps up and helps the movers with the doors. Reflecting briefly on my conversation with Rhapsody, sure, there will be tough times ahead. I know all of us working together should be able to conquer anything before us. I trust in this team. Trust in us. Speaking of us, I should see what the rest of us are up to right now. Okay, and one more. So 1, 2, 3 will be Ben and Matt. 4, 5, 6 will be Loxley and Zapper. And it looks like we are going to talk to Ben and Matt. Everybody's favorite pizza-slinging couple flag me down as I enter the pizzeria, ready to serve up my favorite triangular food.
Hello.
Hello.
Look at you, putting together a home sweet home for all of your friends. Emphasis on sweet. A sweet, sweet gesture from a sweetie pie. It's not that sweet. This is just what pro teams do when it's time to get serious. Right. Keep telling yourself it's all cool and professional. Business, ambition, management, macroeconomics. And alongside all the money matters, you'll be living with your friends. Can't think of a better arrangement.
Good.
Why, Ben's my best friend in this whole Ben's my best friend in this whole world and I live with him. It's true, both the friendship and the homeowner status. Well, we rent, technically. Speaking of renting, Gian mentioned they hired you to run this place, but I thought you two owned Good Clean Fun. Co-ownership. We manage the nitty-gritty, they manage the bigger picture. We're hired guns here to support Chinatown as best we can. Gian's an old friend back from when I was taking night classes in company management. Ben and I know a thing or two about running hybrid businesses, so when Gian mentioned a need for a multi-purpose community center to provide basic services, well, we suggested this enterprise: food, fun, and laundry. Well, it all worked out. People are always coming in and out. It's a nice communal place, even if the smells sometimes cross-contaminate. That it is, Socks. And you yourself will be having a communal area now for you and your friends. Too true. You and your new home surrounded by those closest to you. Living in close quarters, elbow to elbow, nice and cozy, privately. Wink, nudge, nudge, right?
Ha!
Never know what might happen in that sort of environment, eh? Eh? Are you insinuating something?
Insinuating? No. Yes.
What Matt is trying to say, I believe, is that there's a good chance romantic antics could break out in such a situation. Not that we're suggesting you had uncouth motives in assembling this arrangement, just that, well, things happen, you know?
Well, I mean, who knows? It's not something I'm actively on the hunt for, but if something happens, it happens. First and foremost, I just wanted to get my friends together.
Exactly. And a good friendship is the first step towards romance.
Trust me, before I met Ben, I tried diving straight into romance with total strangers, dating websites and the like. Results were mixed at best, and then I realized the love of my life was right under my nose. Literally. He sat one row down from me in economics class.
We're not saying you have to flirt it up with a friend, but it might be a good place to start. Look, you're in a great situation for that now. You're far more likely to find someone if you already know you can live with them and not murder them in their sleep.
That does stand to reason, I guess.
Heck, all the classic romances didn't launch immediately into the lovey-dovey. Consider the great works of romantic literature. Sam and Diane.
Monica and Chandler.
Niles and Daphne.
Mulder and Scully. Ooh, also Jerry and George.
Not sure about that last one, Matt.
You have your canon and I have mine, Ben.
Admittedly, we strictly interpret the universe of human relationships through the lens of 90s television sitcoms.
Sorry about that. Wait, The X-Files was a sitcom?
The show certainly got laughable as time went on.
Okay, I get it. I've watched plenty of shows, sitcoms or otherwise, to know what I want in terms of love. But why the old birds and bees pep talk from you now, too? But why the old birds and the bees pep talk from you two, specifically?
Well, is there anyone you've got your eye on? Not committing to anything, no, but call me curious. Who tickles your fancy?
Oh, I see. You're just trying to get me to spill the tea. Bingo! Ben and Matt sheepishly grin. I guess it makes sense they've been watching all of us interact day in and day out. And if I had their vantage point, I'd be asking those questions in my head too. Fine, consider it split. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we have 8 options this time. So let's see. What if I rolled a 1d8? There we go. Here is a 1d8. And I rolled a 5. So, who is lucky number 5? 1, 2, 3, 4. Jinx! Jinx is really something else, isn't she? Quiet until she isn't. calm until she isn't. There's ferocity and sincerity there. Great fashion sense, can drive like a demon out of hell, and stands up for herself. What's not to love? Bit of an unfortunate pun with stands up for herself, but I hear you, even if, well, what? No, I shouldn't gossip. Jian's told us things in confidence and it'd be wrong to share them. But I'm sure you and Jinx would be a lovely pair, and she's willing to open her home up to you too. That's not nothing. Thanks for the advice, you two. Happy to help, and here's your lunch. Literal food for thought. I pay for my delicious meal and settle into my favorite booth. You know it's my favorite because it's almost molded to my butt because of how often I sit there. And I can barely believe it. Soon, very soon, I'll be living with all my friends under one roof. I should be nervous, but I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it, and I suspect for reasons beyond improving our FOD2 skills. I'd been living alone until now, content to be alone, or so I told myself. Tonight, all of that changes. My thoughts return to much more current ones as I polish off the rest of my pizza, and I'm ready to get back to things. Hang on, the sun's already gone down. Why the heck haven't we moved in yet? I'd say we're burning daylight, but we're fresh out. Beep beep socks, you have an incoming message from Jinx. Hey there, Jian's trying to get our arcade game working and running into problems. Any idea how to boot a custom arcade PC? Real mess up here, RN. Huh, it's just a PC in a fancy wooden box? I thought arcade games were all specialized hardware. Retro games, yes. Modern ones tend to use off-the-shelf components. Want me to reply to her? Oh wait, I've got another message for you, this time from Grace. I could use a hand moving my game collection. Can you take the subway to the 23rd Street station? Moving these boxes myself is proving difficult. I don't think I can leave either of them hanging. Rhapsody could easily get an FOD2 machine going. They're a computery type person like you, and I'm sure Loxley would be more than happy to carry some boxes for Grace. So, who should I send where? Alright, it is a little bit past 10, so I think what I'm going to do is I am going to save here, and let's see who we can raid. Let's see here. Let's see here if there's somebody interesting that we can raid. Alright, I think we are going to... Let's raid Theropod Art, and they're playing Synthetic Legion something or other. Legion Rising. So, it's got follower or subscriber only chat, by the way, but in any case, we will go ahead and raid them. So, thank you very much for joining me tonight, and we will be back on Thursday with more Arcade Spirits. It's going to be the last day of June, so I am not sure what I'm going to do with this game after Thursday. I think what I will try to do is I will save it for Saturdays while we switch to JRPG July. So, for everybody, hope you have a good night and a pleasant tomorrow.